Welcome to the All Aboard with Visit Mickey podcast.
Hello and welcome back to All Aboard with Visit Mickey. This is Trisha. I am the owner of Visit Mickey Vacations, and with me today I have Robert Pesta. Robert is our social media director here at Visit Mickey. So on Instagram and Facebook, when you are looking at our stuff, there's a good chance Robert put that together for us. Robert, say hi.
Hello.
Robert also is very often my travel buddy because, of course, we want to show off the best of everything. So he's got to come on here and travel with me so he can like really give a nice, authentic post to our Instagram account. So, what are we here for today, Robert?
We're going to compare the Wish class ships of the Disney Cruise Line.
That is right. So we have had the pleasure to be on all three of the current Wish class ships, which are the Wish, the Treasure, and the Destiny. And we've been able to be on all three together. So we've been talking about it just kind of generally and being like, oh yeah, like, but on the Treasure it's this, and on the Wish it's that, and oh I like this better and I like that better. And I was like, that would make a perfect podcast because here we are. We've been on all three. We just got off the Destiny a couple days ago, practically. And now we want to talk about our favorites on each ship. So, should we start with the Grand Hall?
Yes, I think that's the best place to start. It's the first thing you see when you walk on all of these beautiful ships.
Absolutely. So, I kind of feel like, I guess we say what's on all three, right? So, on the Disney Wish. You walk on, this is the first of the Wish class, and it is white and marble and beautiful, and the entire ship has the theme of enchantment. So very princessy, and I think the first time I walked on that, I was like, whoa. Because again, we're coming off of the first four ships that we all know very, very well. And then you see this beautiful, beautiful lobby. So to me, it was a major wow factor.
Yeah, I
How about
have
you?
to agree. That was actually the first ship I ever got to go on was the Wish. So it'll always have a
Right.
very special place in my heart. It was the first smelling that smell that you smell whenever you walk on any of the Disney ships, and then, seeing the stage and the character waving at you. And one thing that they have that I felt is pretty unique to the others is that you get a wand. And the wand, you
Yeah.
get to, do magic in the main lobby. And yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
very, very magical, very classic Disney for me.
Yes. So I think so that's the first of the three. And then we move to the treasure. Now, for me, and I think really for us, as we were waiting to get on our ship, waiting for our preview, we were seeing some pretty wah 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 pictures coming out, right? Do you remember that of the
Yeah, it was really
treasure?
funny. The big thing that stuck out for me about that was that all the images they were showing showed bright gold everywhere, and then I felt like the things we were seeing, it was looking more bronze and brown colored.
Yeah. But once we got on there and then we saw the lobby change from day to night, boy, did it change. Like it changed my perspective of that grand lobby, right? Oh, and then of course we missed it already because we went right to like how beautiful it was. But on the Wish class, the statues. So, every ship has its statue, mascot statue. And on the Wish class, it was Cinderella. And then when you look really closely, you could see some of her friends with her. You have to kind of pay attention. But Cinderella is on the Wish. And then we're going to move over to the treasure. And then after we talk about all three, then we'll do the comparison. I think that's the best way. So we get on the treasure and we have Aladdin and Jasmine on carpet. And then we move over to the Destiny. And now when you walk into the Destiny, I felt it was very different. Very, very different. It's so funny that it's structurally the same, but it felt so very different. And it actually felt, for me, very structural. not so magical, very structural, very straight lines and things and not color, right? So it's very natural colors or muted colors. What do you want? How would you you're in fashion. How would you describe that color palette?
Yeah, definitely like whites and golds and browns and yeah,
Yeah. I
neutral,
I
muted. Yes.
very neutral. Yes, neutrals. It took me a minute. It took me a minute to really take in and how I felt about that lobby
I
because
feel like they rely on lighting a lot for that lobby. I think they made it neutral so that they could change it with lights.
right. And boy do they. Okay, so there we go. Oh, and then Black Panther. Black Panther and then a Black Panther, the cat is next to him. So those are the grand lobbies. So we have Cinderella, we have Aladdin and Jasmine, and then we have Black Panther on the new Destiny. So let's talk about those and favorites of those. I guess I'll start and say definitely the Black Panther one is number three for me. So it's like one and two, it's Wish and Treasure. Ooh, I don't know that I have a firm. Do you? Do you have a really confirmed one and two and three?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I mean, it's right away, it's the treasure. I mean, I like bright color. I like a lot of color. I like jewel tones. And that feels so like lush and fully realized, like that you're stepping in a genie bottle. Like you think of Aladdin, you think of and the lantern hanging from the chandelier, and it just feels the most Disney yet different, special, magical. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to agree and I'm going to say the lobby as a whole, I'm going to count if you look at floor 3, 4, 5. I loved like the furniture and the color on 4 and 5. Like remember we did a photo shoot there because the
Mhm.
colors were so beautiful
Yeah.
and the couches, the chairs were beautiful and I love the glow of the seven lamps at night. At night when you can change and they can be pink and purple and they just, change for again the need of the lobby, if they're going to have it be themed for something. But I found that in the end, I think, yeah, I Treasure is the winner for me also.
There's something that felt just like extra warm and cozy about it. Like the lanterns almost have that like warm glow coming from within them. And then all the furniture is just so like plush and like you just want to like you wanted to sit and take a break there because you like felt like you're sitting somewhere like really special. And then yeah, I
I
believe
want
they
to
also
take
had
the
more
furniture
plants.
home.
Yeah, take the furniture home for sure.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. There were the greeneries and stuff
Yeah.
and some shades, like privacy things in between. It felt like a more realized space
Hmm.
on the deck 4 and 5 for sure. I'm like, that could be my living room furniture and I would be perfectly happy.
For
So,
sure.
all right. But now let's separate the lobby from the sculpture. So we have Cinderella, and I'm just going to call out Cinderella on the Wish as I'm sorry, it was a fail for me. It's a fail for me, dog. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I don't know why I did it, but I just had to. Anyway, her face, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's not, Cinderella was beautiful, and it's not beautiful.
Yeah, there's some certain lighting where she looks a little cross-eyed. And then on Pirate Night, they give her some red lighting, and then she looks cross-eyed and kind of crazy, and it's fun.
Demonic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you've seen
yeah,
the videos where people have glowing red eyes, and like Cinderella has glowing red eyes on Pirate Night. And I
yeah.
went, oh, Disney. Disney,
Oh
come on.
no.
It is so funny. Okay, so a little backstory. Robert and I met at the Disney store, and we both worked there at the Disney store. So we are former cast member, blue badge cast members. So they are legit. And there was a rule back when I started working there that you would never see plush as a human character. And why? Because they can't do it right. They cannot make their faces look like faces. They won't look like the character. Now they ended up breaking that rule, and those plushes look creepy. So they should have just kept the rule, because when I started there in the 90s, it was like you will never ever see a plush character of a human, and then you did, and then it was like they know how to do dogs or cats. They do. They know how to do that stuff, but humans, no, I'm sorry. Aladdin and Jasmine. Okay, so Aladdin and Jasmine are riding carpet on the Disney Treasure, right? And then, do you remember there's the Cinderella shoe over on the Wish, and then you have Genie's lamp over by the staircase? It's better, right? Even though they are people, Aladdin and Jasmine, they did it better. I'm still not a fan of it though. Are you a fan of that one?
Which one, the Aladdin one?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think it's great.
I was not a fan of that one either. Now, it's not creepy, so like I said, it's better, but I wasn't a fan of that statue. I don't
I like
know
how
if
it's
it's because
floating.
yeah, right. Maybe it's boxy and they're on their carpet and it doesn't feel like a statue to me. I don't know why. It looked like artwork for sure, but not like the lobby statue, which
Yeah.
kind of has like so in that regard, moving to the Destiny, I think it's the statue I like the best because he's the size of the person, right? So it's the right size. The panther is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they has like the glass eyes, the panther, like the it's funny because you keep going the Black Panther, but the cat panther
Yeah.
has beautiful jeweled or glass eyes, gorgeous. And then when you get really, really close to the Black Panther, the character, you could see like the individual lines of vibranium in the etching of him when you got up really close. So if you ever saw a zoomed in picture from the movie and you look at his zoomed in, sculpture, I thought they did the best job on that one. And no face. So I think that's part of why, because he can't look creepy and they know how to do cats. So, so to me, this is why it's the best. It's the best of the three statues.
For me, it's definitely the Aladdin one. I don't know. I just love the how the lamp shoots the magic up the staircase behind the characters, and I feel like the Black Panther one is missing that little bit of magic to it. Like I kind of wish maybe the Panther's eye should glow or something, or maybe
Yeah.
there's something I don't know.
Well, I know we tried to do everything, but it's hard to do everything. You know what? I will say the kiss goodnight of the Wish is the best for me, though. Remember the goodnight kiss where everyone lays
Yeah,
on the
for
floor?
sure. Very magical.
They don't, the people lay on the floor for the treasure and people lay on the floor for the destiny. You don't have to. It's not a show on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really but people just got used to that, and the Imagineers did it, so it's really kind of all their fault. They started it, so but people saw the
Gosh,
video of the Imagineers doing it.
you're reminding me that I really do think it's special how in the Wishes lobby, even the pillars light up. Like literally
Yeah.
every part of it does something.
Yeah, I actually love that Goodnight Kiss. I really do.
Mhm.
And I think it was better than the Treasure, even though I liked the Treasure, and I think it was better than the Destiny. So that last little moment for me, but we can get out of the Grand Hall. But for me, the Treasure is my overall win for Grand Hall, even though I have some preferences to the other things.
Agree.
So let's talk about dining a little. I think maybe the signature dining. Oh, well, actually, let's do it this way. There are two dinings that are on all three ships, which are the Marvel, World of Marvel, and 1923. So 1923 kind of dedicated to animation and to Walt and the year the company was created and a lot of those favorites and people go dressed usually one night if they go there they a lot of flapper 20s apparel People do that. We didn't. Maybe had we prepared for it, because we love a good theme.
Yeah, we have to do that sometime.
Yeah,
I think our
it'd be
mouths
fun
are
again.
flapping too much to even, really care about the outfit.
Whatever. Okay, so 1923, but the artwork all over, beautiful. You sit there and just geek out, right? I mean, I love sitting by the Sleeping Beauty. We like sat by one of our tables was by like all this Sleeping Beauty stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, it's all hand-drawn work right there. It was so beautiful.
I love how
And
they take the sections in those restaurants and theme it to what the ship's theme is. So you'll see way more Aladdin featured on the treasure. And then what I loved about the Destiny was that they had things that you never see get featured, like Meet the Robinsons. I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God, Meet the Robinsons. Like that is a deep cut for Disney to put featured in a restaurant.
And I mean, we saw a lot of it, but then also a lot of villains, right? So Syndrome. So there was a whole wall of like, the villain stuff, and Syndrome had his own wall. And
Yeah.
I mean, he was a great villain. So we love me some Syndrome stuff. And I enjoy dining at 1923. So, I mean, it's always been a good experience. It's also usually where we would have breakfast, if we're not going to do the Marceline Market. So it's where we would usually have breakfast. But then the other one that's on all three ships is World of Marvel. Now, World of Marvel on Wish, the Wish class, it's not the actual Wish, is a Marvel show, and Ant-Man is kind of what do you want to call him? He's like the lead of the show, right? And it's a fun show. There usually is a character at the end. I've seen Spider-Man and I've seen Ant-Man and Wasp on the Wish, but it is not very interactive. I mean, you go and you hit some buttons, and try not to have too many spoilers for people who haven't done it. It is a fun show. But when you move over to the treasure and they make it a trivia contest, oh, we were all about it. So MCU trivia, I could do that all day. That was so fun for me.
My only complaint there was that I wanted it to count for something. They don't add up your points at the end. Like I was like, please tell me, like, show the table number and who's in the lead. Even if we were all tied, I just want to know that we're all tied.
Sure. Yeah, I know because we're competitive.
Yeah.
We're like, be or whatever. I forget. It was a color. She had to pick, blue, orange, yellow. Yeah. Yeah. Purple, purple, purple. Hey,
And
purple,
they
purple.
had some good deep cuts in there that like it wasn't just your everyone would know the answer, which I
Oh, no.
appreciated, but I just wanted to know, did we, like how did we add up in the end? Like even
Did
if it
you?
wasn't even if it wasn't against the other tables, just rank me. Give me an A, a B, a C. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. I mean, I know we were waiting for it because we thought, oh, we're crushing it. We're
Yeah.
crushing this. We're crushing this. And then we're
Well,
like,
and there's screens everywhere. It's like how hard could it be to just show the table number on the screen and
yeah, I hear you. I hear
yeah.
you. But to me, it was a major upgrade to go from just kind of watch a show where you hit some buttons to grow or shrink and then go to trivia. That was like way better for me. I was super happy with it.
The other part of it was Groot featuring. So everyone loves Groot, but then the other thing is the music was that's what made it fun is all the music.
Yeah.
Like your typical Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack while you're eating dinner. So fun.
Yeah. Oh, so fun. And then there's the specialty restaurant on each ship. So going back to the Wish, we have Frozen themed Arendelle, and you're there for the engagement party of Anna and Kristoff. So, I mean, I feel like we're going back years. I mean, we literally are, but it's kind of funny. Now, Arendelle, the theming, amazing. The show in the center of the restaurant. So the theater or the restaurant's a big rectangle, but right in the middle of the rectangle is a stage. And on that stage, they have performers that are a music act, performing songs from the movie. And then they, of course, have actors who come on portraying, well, actually, let's see how many we have. We have, ooh, what's his name? Why can't I think of his
Mm,
name?
Oaken.
Yeah, Oaken, thank you. So Oaken comes in. We have Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and we have Olaf, right? So those are the characters that are there during the show. We have singing, we have music, we have, I mean, it's a fantastic show. Fantastic.
You have like Arendelle townsfolk that are also with
Yes.
violins and different instruments and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that show is incredible, but I hate the food there. To me, it's Palo night. If I'm gonna skip a restaurant to go to Palo, it's gonna be Arendelle. Now, part of that is because it's very fishy and I have an allergy, so I don't like the smell of fish, and there's a lot of fish in that restaurant. So to me, that's probably what it is. I don't remember how you felt about the food there.
I remember thinking it was all right. There was nothing that I loved that I like nothing that I sticks out that I remember. I remember the lighting making the food look almost sickly, for lack of a better word. It's like a lot of blue lighting. So when you look down at your piece, I
Mhm.
think of like I don't know why I'm thinking I had prime rib there or something, but the lighting made the meat look not appetizing at all. Like, however, the show is great. Like the music's
The show.
wonderful.
The music is wonderful. The show is wonderful. The talent that they bring onto the ship, the the three-piece music set is so incredible. I mean, just so incredible. And I've been on that ship 4 times, 4 or 5 times already. And after the first couple times, I just went up and I said, "Hey, if nobody ends up sitting here, can I?" Because like there wasn't anyone sitting, and it was like filling up. And I said, I just want to be able to come over here and record for the show, and I'll go back to my seat to eat. And they were like, we don't care. So, I mean, I was able to get there and really get some up close and pay attention because it's really very talented people. Okay, so then we move over to the treasure, and it is Plaza de Coco, and it's the Rivera family. And you walk in, and it's the same orientation, same restaurant where it's a big rectangle with a stage in the middle. And now you are dining with the Rivera family from Coco. Now, I love this restaurant. I love this restaurant. I love the colors. Again, so many colors. There's the La Familia, the setup for Day of the Dead, where they have all the pictures that you walk up to and see as you're walking through. I thought it was excellent. Now, we only ate once there instead of twice. So when you eat there the first day, it's a gathering, but when you go there the second time on your 7 night cruise, then you have the celebration day. And so for me, that was the day we got to see, and I just thought that show was so very good, so much color. And then the food, I mean, Mexican food. It was delicious. There was guacamole, there were fajitas, there was tamale, which I love tamale. There was chips and salsa, enchilada. Trying to remember the things that like we ate. I know I got the dulce de leche sundae at the end, which is my favorite sundae there on the
I think you
Disney
named
cruise
all the
line.
stuff that really stuck out to me. Guacamole, did we already say that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like every table gets chips and salsa and every table gets the guacamole. But then we ordered the enchilada, we ordered the tamale and stuff like that. But I thought that day's food was so very good. See, like I would not go to Palo on that night. I would if that were my cruise, I'd say let's skip a World of Marvel and send me to Palo. Or yeah, probably. Probably that's what I would say. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, that one definitely is a standout for me. The colors, the music. For me, like I love dancing and there's so much dancing in that show.
They
The
walk around. I should say
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too.
the big skirts and it's so much to look at and like it's a feast for food and a feast for your eyes. Like,
Mm, yeah. And ears too, because the music is again very good.
mhm.
And then we moved over to the Destiny. So now the Destiny, again, same place. So by the way, we're on deck 5 in the aft. And this is Pride Land Feast of the Lion King. So this is the first time they're bringing the Lion King story to a restaurant setting. And again, we have the center stage, and that center stage is African music. Now, of course, we all knew it was going to be music of the Lion King, but we did learn when we were on that ship that is Lion King 1 and Lion King 2. So, which was funny because we heard people going, this was supposed to be about Lion King. What's this we're listening to? And it was just Lion King 2 music. Okay, so but this food, African inspired, some spicy. There was some spicy stuff. What did you think? I am trying to remember. I remember ordering chicken for my appetizer. Or wait,
I know that the group we were in, there were some apprehensions about like the menu. It's not the most like when you read it and look at it, it seems to be the most exotic.
yeah.
And what I found in my experience was that a lot of it actually wasn't, but it scares people because of the names and the descriptions. And then when I'd get it, I'd be like, oh, this is, chicken. This is chicken. This is steak. Like, you know, and I actually ended up really loving the food there. Like, I thought it was really good. But I know that it was like, I was like nervous about like, what am I getting? Like, is it going to be
Hmm.
too spicy? But when they say spicy, sometimes they meant there's spices on it. They don't mean it's spicy, as in
Well, which is
hot.
funny because I asked our server, I was picking something and I said, is this hot? And he said, do you mean spicy or temperature hot? And I said, oh, I mean spicy. And he said, it's in the middle. I go, I don't mind something medium. And then my husband told me that I should say American medium. And I thought that's funny, like American
Yeah.
medium. What's that? Oh, I know
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Because my chicken was too hot for me to eat. It was too spicy for me to eat. Now I talked to one of our team members was on the maiden voyage. And so I asked him, I said, "Did you don't like spicy food either? How did you handle it?" And he said, "Mine was not spicy at all. It was flavored, but it wasn't spicy." And I said, my mouth was on fire. I had 2 bites of my dinner and I was like, done. Done, done, done. It was just, and again, maybe mine just got more, maybe it was more than a sprinkle, maybe the container spilled accidentally on my piece, whatever. But it was just too hot for me. But then as I've talked to people since, I feel like, okay, my dish happened to have something on it that was hotter. That's all. And I would totally give it a try the next time.
Yeah, I
Actually,
don't
speaking
consider
of the next time, that'll be in 2 days.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't consider myself super adventurous with food, but I was just like, I'm here. When you're on a cruise, you can get as many things as you want. I'm like, I'm gonna have the experience, and I did not regret any of it. Like, it's good.
Right. I remember.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, this is a nice little insert. Let's just say you go to any of these restaurants, right? I told you earlier, I'm not a fan of Arendelle. And I usually just try to book Apollo that night. However, let's say I couldn't. There's 24-hour room service. There's the food on the deck, like the burgers and fries and stuff. If you end up really not liking your food, you wouldn't go hungry. You would just order room service or you would go and get food off the deck. So just, kind of like a little FYI there. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go hungry. Technically, you could also ask for food from a different restaurant. So you have that option. I've done it occasionally, but I generally don't because they really do have to run their butts off to get stuff from other restaurants. So I try not to do that, but it is something you're allowed to do. Okay, so for me, bing, 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 treasure.
Treasure. Yeah, I have to. It's funny. I started to question myself when as you were talking because I was remembering how much I really love the Frozen music. And what really stuck out to me was those violins. I mean, those people are playing their butts off on those violins to the point where like you're like, is that gonna explode? And that's a major moment for me, especially they're spinning and playing it. So like I'm feeling a little like so like show wise, I definitely think The Wish had the better show at the Frozen. I do love the Coco one, but there's just something about the Wish one. But overall, though, the best one for sure is Coco because you get the food, you get the show, and as we were talking, I realized we didn't talk too much about the Destiny show, so that says kind of a lot about it.
Ah,
the the Destiny
wow.
show was kind of a snooze fest for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I was going in
Well,
there so excited. I love Lion King. I've seen the Broadway. And not one puppet. Like they have every animal to play with in the Lion King, and they did not have a single puppet. And I'm just thinking, like, at Frozen, you get Olaf, an animatronic. At Coco, you get the skeleton family. You get the flamenco. I think
mhm.
it's flamenco dancers. I don't know. And they come
Yes,
around the
yes.
whole because
And the
if you're
mariachi. The mariachis are
yes,
walking.
mariachi, they come to each
Yes.
table, and like
Yeah.
Lion King, they didn't do any of that. I was
They didn't
and
walk
I
around at all. But we were on a preview,
yes,
so I will say we were on a preview cruise. It might be different when we do, like when I'm on there in a couple days.
yes.
So I'll have to find out if they do, but I'm totally with you. I know that we didn't have the best seat, and that always sucks a little bit. But I- it was it was not as compelling for me either. And it's sad because we're like products of the time Disney had that. And I just remember being at the Disney store and when that music would start and then it would end, it would just be like boom. Everybody would stop shopping. They just couldn't help themselves. They were staring at the screen at the Disney store. So, I mean, it is such an important moment in Disney lore, the Lion King movie, but I did not think it hit super hard. I'm hoping that that was an event of a preview, and I'm hoping that the actual sale is different for me.
Yeah, I for sure expected the giant headdresses or something to be a little more like the live action Lion Kings we've seen before. We've seen them do it at the parks, we've seen them doing it at Broadway, like, and then this
Yeah,
show just felt so small for what I know they can do with Lion King.
yeah, I hear you. All right, moving on. Now, this is where it really will get good, everybody, because we're gonna take the lounges in the exact same spot. So we have on the Wish, the Bayou, Tiana's Bayou. And then on the Treasure, the Skipper Society, think Jungle Book or Jungle Cruise, I'm sorry, Jungle Cruise. And then on the Destiny, the Sanctum, think Doctor Strange. All right. So the one thing I will say, this is the lounge deck 3 midship that's in the middle of the ship, so people are all over. It is loud. There are kids because it's in the open. So that's the downside of all three. Now the upsides, Tiana's. Oh, beautiful. The flowers, the glass work, the drinks, the hurricane is the drink there, like the drink there. Beautiful backdrop. Love, 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 love the bayou. But Skipper Society of the Treasure, adventure themed. So they really brought in great elements from the Jungle Cruise. And I loved it, but I kind of felt like theming wise, it's the least of the three. And then the Sanctum, I thought they went really hard with theming on this one again. For those of you who know Doctor Strange the movie, so we're in the MCU. It's the first Doctor Strange movie. And remember the books that were forbidden? His forbidden books were in those cages that were like chained. Those cages were there and the books in them. And I'm like, it was so authentic and amazing. And then the artifacts of the movie around, if you like walk around seeing Doctor Strange cape, seeing the eye, there were other magical moments too, and I really appreciated that. All right, so what have you got to say about these three spaces?
Yeah, I hear you on the theming of the Doctor Strange one, but it was a little too dark and a little too not as exciting to me. And one thing I want to preface this is I love Marvel. I am a huge Marvel person. And the Destiny is a Marvel ship. In my eyes, it's a Marvel ship. And so for me to not immediately just love and adore the Sanctum is a little sad for me because I'm like, I don't know, it just was lacking color and brightness, even though I know that's not the theme of it, but it's when you think about Tiana's just you walk by and you're just like in awe of the beauty of it. It's just like, oh my God, that's somewhere I want to be. The Sanctum's kind of more of like a dark library vibe.
Yep.
Kind of almost feels more like a man cave than like, I don't know. And Tiana's is like the complete opposite. It's bright, feminine, princess, and then you have the Skipper. Was it Skipper
Society.
Society? Yeah. Skipper Society was super cool. I mean, I'm a huge parks person, so like seeing that come to life in that setting is awesome. And similar to the Bayou, they had greenery everywhere. It felt very lush, very like I want to be there. I was a little disappointed in that one for the fact that the people working were not doing the whole Skipper jokes, and I thought that was like the missing touch from it. Like I needed jokes, I
Obvious.
needed corniness, I needed yeah. So in my opinion, the clear winner for me is Tiana's. It's just the one thing that's missing from it is like which the we haven't mentioned, but the Destiny like really changed my opinion on a lot of these things is because the Destiny adds way more character interaction. So I'm like,
Mhm.
if you threw Tiana being in that bar, like that would be the next level of like amazingness. Like I'd love to see Tiana make some sort of appearance there and like interact with you. And
Well, I will say again, talking about those places. So we have specialty things about each one. And over at the Bayou, so you have the Hurricane, which is kind of like the signature drink that everyone wants to get the Hurricane there. But they also have at breakfast time, they have a really, if you're a drinker and you love a Bloody Mary, I think they have both mimosas and they have Bloody Marys there, and they can get you, they do beignets there in the morning only. Now, obviously, all of those things cost money. The beignets cost money, alcohol costs money. So they're not an included part of your trip. But it is a little extra thing that makes it so special. Now, on the Skipper Society, I remember all like the old fashions, all the box drinks. I mean, they made it like kind of like, again, I felt like the kind of lounge, right, where you go and you sit, and it was kind of dark. I don't even know that yeah, it was dark. It was dark. It wasn't as dark as the Sanctum, but the Sanctum I think is meant to be darker. But then the Sanctum, they had the elevated drinks. So when I say elevated, I really should say levitating because elevated just means a higher level drink. But levitating drinks and specialty drinks and bubble drinks, and they just made them very different for that ship.
tricks. They all have like a
Um,
show piece to them.
it really is. But when if I'm just taking the raw location, I'm agreeing with you. The bayou was so beautiful. I was drawn to sit inside it. I I just think it's stunning. I just think it's stunning. And it does go with the vibe. The vibe of the ship is enchantment. It's beautiful, and I think they did a great job there.
I was gonna say special shout out to Tiana's is people are sleeping on the root beer float there. I love that. I
Oh, the
love
root
it.
beer float. No, so good. I'd
So
forgotten.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. All right. So now we're going to go to the lounge that's just next door. This is the lounge that's like the fully closed in lounge. And on the Wish, it is Hyperspace. And on both the Treasure and the Destiny, it is the Haunted Mansion Parlor. So, I mean, the Haunted Mansion Parlor was so incredibly popular on the Treasure. They kept it on the Destiny. They changed very, very little between the Treasure and the Destiny. So I think it's just going to be Hyperspace versus Haunted Mansion. And I remember how hard it was to get into Hyperspace the first time we went. People were just like dying to get in there. And it is cool. I'm not going to say it's not cool, but Robert and I were a little spoiled. We had done the Galactic Star Cruiser, and I felt that there was a lounge there that basically was the Star Cruiser. The Star Cruiser and the Hyperspace, I felt were practically the same bar.
feel like it's a little bare. Like I just feel like I feel like when you're in the Haunted Mansion lounge, there's so much to look at. So
Oh
much.
yeah.
Like I don't know if I still seen it all. And the Star Wars one, it's kind of like here's this weird thing in a case. And again, I'm a huge Star Wars person, so like it kills me to not immediately be like, "Oh my God, that's the best thing in the world." But it feels like a bear museum.
All right. Yeah. It's cool, but again, the big scene, right? The portal scene where you're looking at ships going in and then you sometimes go into hyperspace. But I guess if you did this Star Cruiser, if you hadn't done it, maybe, Robert, if we hadn't done the Star Cruiser, maybe we would have felt differently. You know what I mean? Like if you walked in there the first time and you hadn't done the Star Cruiser, but we had seen that. We had seen the hyperspace moment. We had seen the multicolored colored tubes of drinking, and we'd seen a lot of it. Now, incredibly cool. There is a super, super, super expensive drink that you can get. It's been a long time now. I don't even know how much it costs right now. But remember, you can get a drink that gave you a way to go to
Skywalker Ranch.
yeah, the Walker Ranch.
Yeah.
I know someone did get it while we were on there. What's his name? Pete something?
Yeah.
Dreams Unlimited.
Yeah.
He got it on the ship. So okay. And then there's the haunted mansion on the treasure, and the haunted mansion on the Destiny. It is so funny that if I'm not with someone who wants to ride Haunted Mansion, I don't even ride it. Like it's not a ride that I go on unless I'm with someone who wants to ride it. I can recognize how cool it is, but it's just very dark, right? It's so funny because you're like, oh, it's so dark, but it's meant to be dark. And then when you have the lit moments, you could see the wallpaper, and when the portraits come to life, that's a very cool moment. I will say that when the characters show up in the mirror, very cool.
The ghost
I
fish
don't have
take
an
it away from me.
oh, the fish, right?
So cool.
But I don't have an emotional connection to Haunted Mansion, so I just don't care. I mean, I don't care about either of those, frankly, because I'm totally a Marvel girl and I just don't care about Star Wars. Like I have a light understanding of it, but really I like the first two or three movies and then I'm kind of done. So, like the 70s movies, not not in order, but the movies from the 70s are the ones I like, and then I'm done. So all this other stuff is kind of wasted on me, I'll be honest. Okay, so for you, it's Haunted Mansion, right?
Yeah, the only thing I wish they would have done a little more different between the two ships because it did kind of feel like, I mean, when we were on the treasure, I spent so much time in there. That was like heaven. So then to see the exact same thing on Destiny, I was like, I feel like I don't need to be in here that much. Like, I know that's such a privilege and to say,
It
but
is.
I'm just like,
We're
like,
very lucky.
yeah,
I will say, for those of you who are wondering, we have different characters into the mirror. We have different merch, right? So there were two
yeah, different
new, what are those
classes,
called? Tiki
tiki
mugs?
mugs, yeah,
So there are two new tiki mugs in the Haunted Mansion on the Destiny. And is that candelabra thing? Is that new to the Destiny or no?
no, that was on both.
I was on both. Okay.
Mm.
Because I know you pointed it out to me, like, because I didn't even know it. So I'm like, there's a lot I don't know about the Haunted Mansion. But oh, the bride outside, that was different. So it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
Madame Leota on the first one, and it's the bride on the second one.
Yeah, sounds
There you
cool.
go. So there you go. So there's a little bit of differences between Treasure and Destiny. And now we go to the pubs. All right, and I have a very clear winner on these pubs. So we have the first one, which is the Wish, which is Keg and Compass. And this is not really, it's funny. It feels pirate-y, but it is absolutely not pirates themed, right? And then there was Periscope Pub, and that is the 20,000 Leagues theming. And then we had Cask and Cannon, and that absolutely is pirates themed. For me, clear winner, Periscope. I loved our time in Periscope. I love the ceiling, and I was kind of shocked that they didn't use the ceiling in the last one in Cask and Cannon. I thought they absolutely had some opportunities to do that, and they didn't.
I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like in Pirates when the city's on fire. Like I thought the projection of fire could have been like something on the ceiling, make it look like it's on fire. Like they just left like I think maps on the ceiling. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were maps, drawn maps on the ceiling. And it's cool. And they do have some great elements in Cask and Canning. Great, great, great. But the ceiling on Periscope, you're under the sea and you're looking up and you would see like sea creatures going by, and it'd be like it was it was very cool. It was
The other
very cool.
thing, the layout is just so much better. Like the keg and compass and the cask and cannon. God, that's a lot to say. They have the bars to the left when you walk in.
Hmm.
And I just felt like Periscope was so much more open and easier to sit in and get along with people in when the bar's at the back of the room.
Hmm.
It just felt more
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I also like the drink. I remember being like the Periscope drink, like the signature drink was really
I think
yummy.
Kraken, I think Kraken something or
Yeah, 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 yeah. The Kraken attack.
yeah.
It's called the Kraken attack. So again, I don't know if they still have that, but that's what it was. And yummy, yummy. But I mean, like full disclosure here, we're not drinkers. So like if we go have a drink, a couple drinks the entire cruise, we'd be more likely to get a mocktail or something to have something pretty, but we're not
It's more
doing
about the
that.
vibes.
It's more about the vibe. Totally more about the vibe. All right. So all three have a piano lounge. And on the Wish, it is Nightingales. And so that's, Cinderella. If you are familiar with The Wish and you look up above the piano and you will see musical notes that are ascending up into the chandelier of that establishment, you can know that those notes are actually the notes of the Sing Sweet Nightingale song. So the notes are actually placed where they need to be for the song. So just a little tidbit, a little Disney fact there. And then the treasure, it was Scat Cat Lounge. So think Aristocats and the paw prints and all that. Love, love, love that vibe. Loved those colors. And then for the Destiny, it changes to DeVille's. Now, this one is really hard for me because I thought there was no way to beat the vibe of Scat Cat. I thought there was no way to do that. But with DeVille's, not only is the decor incredible, you have an opportunity to have the lead character there. And that really brings another element. And I gotta say, I don't know. I mean, I'm still torn between the vibe of both of them, but when you get to add Cruella being ridiculously in Cruella, you got to make it say for the win. And and when you run into Cruella, by the way, if you are not dressed in black, white, and red, you're trash. Remember?
Yeah.
I looked so nice that day. I had such a pretty blouse on, and she read me down for Phil. because I was wearing plaid.
This is definitely what I was thinking about when I was saying like the Destiny spoiled me now, because like it's hard to the Destiny blows all the ships out of the water with their entertainment. I think their shows, their character interactions, they really step outside of the box from the other Disney cruise ships in those ways. I think it's like someone gave a bunch of theater kids free range to just do whatever they wanted on that ship, and they did it. So I mean, the lounge, yeah, it's just you add in the actual character hanging out with you in it, and it's just like, whoa. I never knew that I could fall in love with someone that wants to kill puppies the way that I did on the Destiny. So,
Oh, yeah. I, so again, okay, just out of curiosity. Now, Nightingales is really a dull palette to look at,
but the
but
bubbles,
it
I
had that.
love the bubbles.
I love the bubbles, but it had that good drink, the bird drink. Remember that
Oh,
bird
yeah.
drink was so yummy? Okay, so it had the bird drink, which I loved. But it was kind of a dull palette, that's all. But the Scat Cat was gorgeous. We did a photo shoot in there too, remember? We
Yeah.
had great pictures from in there. And then DeVille's, I mean, red. I, I love red. So I wear a lot of red. Right now I'm wearing green because it's Christmas time. But green and red will be, I'm actually wearing green and red.
DeVille's was like more custom, I felt like
Oh,
the furniture was like that must be where the
awesome.
budget of the Destiny's lobby furniture went. Because
All right.
like
All right. So just to tell you, I don't know if you caught this. So we had a team member on the maiden voyage. His name is Dustin. Dustin on Deck 4 DCL is his Instagram page, and he went to all the things, all the talks for the maiden voyage. The two chairs, you know which chairs I'm talking about. The two chairs, they
the
were
big paw.
$8,000 a chair.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, $8,000 a chair. So,
Crazy.
and lots of people go into that place. As soon as you see the chairs, you'll walk in, you'll look to the right, and you'll be like, oh, that must be the $8,000 chair. Anyway, people are going in there, getting their little photo shoot on that chair and stuff. It is so cool. In the other podcast that we did regarding the Destiny, a lot of times you go in and you order a drink and they bring you a little bowl of peanuts or a little bowl of Chex Mix type of stuff. There they bring you white and black M&Ms. So, I mean, like the theming is incredible. Black, white, red, everywhere, perfectly done. Polka dot this, black cup with red lips, crazy red lips on them. So I just thought the theming was so very good. But yes, when you bring Cruella in and she's wild and funny, and the cast of characters are super funny. We'll get to that last, but yeah, it elevates DeVille when you're there for a character interaction.
I just hope that go forward on ships they're just doing way more of those, putting the characters in their environments, because that
Hmm.
I felt like, I mean, that made a character interaction you cannot get in the parks.
Oh yeah, that was a lot, and it was a lot. It was so good.
Mhm.
All right. I guess I'm gonna say DeVille's for that, right? Yeah. I
Yeah.
love the Scat Cat too. I actually prefer the colors of the Scat Cat. I love that palette. Again, those are jeweled tones. It was really beautiful. But there you're just sitting in a pretty bar. Where DeVille's, when you go during the show, it's just so good.
I will say, I think what may change my mind is if I would have had the time to get the $100 cat glass drink. That's Cat
We
Cat.
didn't have time for that. 100% there could have been, right, the teas and the drinks.
Yeah, they have
I
tea
mean,
there.
yeah, I wish we had more time on that ship. That's gonna have to be our special trip is
Mhm.
a 7 night on the Treasure. We need to do it. We need more content.
By content,
Gotta
I
do
mean
it.
special drinks and cups and mugs.
Okay. So there you go. I think we handled all of the places that you can go and drink and our favorites. So our favorites are the Bayou, the Haunted Mansion, Periscope, and DeVille's, right? Those are pretty much our favorites. on the different ships.
Make sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for part 2 of this episode. There was just way too much to put it all into one.